Sometimes these head-to-head tests need to be explained. They take a little bit of framing.
But not this one. We've got the sportiest Golf GTI you can buy right now up against the best car of its type, the Honda Civic Type R. Easy.
The Golf GTI Clubsport is a harder, faster kind of GTI. It has 300 horsepower, is only available with a Dsg Gearbox, and it gets unique aero parts like this rear spoiler. Between the front wheels you'll find an electronically controlled mechanical limited slip differential, while adaptive dampers are optional. Along with the usual Golf GTI driving modes, the Clubsport gets this additional one, a setting specifically for the Nurburgring. The Clubsport sits 15mm closer to the road than the standard GTI, with retuned suspension and more negative camber on the front axle, plus bigger brakes. VW says it'll hit 62 miles per hour in less than 6 seconds and top out at 155.
There's very little in here to tell me that I've spent several £1,000s more on the Clubsport model and not just the GTI. I mean, overall, it's a very flashy cabin with these twin screens. It looks gorgeous. This one here in the middle, it's really easy to use. I've grumbled in the past about these touch-sensitive sliders for the ventilation temperature and the stereo volume. They're just a bit annoying to use. You can tap up and down like that, but they're designed for you to slide your finger along them. And they're just hard to use when you're on the move. When you're bouncing about on a bumpy road like this and you want to turn the radio down, for instance, it's difficult. I just want a rotating knob. Do you know what though? The cabin quality is good. The seating position is pretty good. Not quite as good as that Civic Type R's though, because the seating position in that car is absolutely spot on. But this does feel like a very upmarket cabin.
The Golf GTI Clubsport is relatively subtle for a 300 horsepower hot hatch, while the Civic Type R is not. It's just been facelifted and it's no more rowdy looking than it was before, although there is now a Sportline model which doesn't get this huge rear wing. The Honda is more powerful than the VW with 320 horsepower. It too has an LSD, but adaptive dampers are standard and it's manual only. Like the Clubsport, the Type R will reach 62 miles per hour in just under 6 seconds, but it'll run on to 169. The Civic starts at £34,320. The Clubsport, meanwhile, is more expensive. You'll pay £37,215 before options.
I want to start in the Honda Civic Type R and just remind ourselves why this is currently the best car of its type. And before I venture into a sport mode and drive in a sportive manner, I just want to leave it in comfort and drive slowly because actually, against expectations, that's one of the things this Type R does best. It's so easy to live with. You look at it and you think it's going to knock you to pieces with a really hard ride quality, heavy clutch, heavy gear shift, all that stuff. But it doesn't. Actually, it's just really easy to use. You could use it just the same way you would any other Civic as a family hatchback. It's comfortable, it's fairly quiet, it's just easy to operate. I think that really works in this car's favour because you don't have to put up with a car that's a pain in the neck most of the time just because you want a hot hatch. But let's forget all that stuff. What we really care about is what this thing is like to drive. I've put it into sport mode. Do you know what? It's properly good, this Type R. It really is. It's one of those cars that you jump in and from the first mile onwards, you feel so much confidence in it. You feel right on top of the car and you just start driving it as hard as you can. It's communicative, it's transparent, and these are the hallmarks of the best performance cars. We've got really talkative steering, gives you such a clear impression of how much grip there is, what the balance of the car is like, and also that mechanical locking differential in the front axle. It drags the car so crisply away from corners, it's brilliant, but you really feel it tugging away at the steering wheel as well. And that, amazingly, gives you a sense of how much traction there is, so you even know through the steering how hard you can stomp on the accelerator pedal. It's incredible. Everything else then, bundles of grip, good traction, it's got such good body control and a really lovely chassis balance. It's neutral, it's adjustable. All that stuff this car does so well. And the engine, I mean, it's just the best 2-litre turbo engine there is. It's characterful. These engines are so rarely characterful, but this one is. It sounds good. It's really responsive. It's a powerhouse, and it revs beyond 7,000. It's such a good motor, paired with one of the best manual gear shifts in the game. This 6-speed manual is brilliant. It all adds up to a car that's brilliant fun to drive, easy to live with, usable, but also so fast. If you're out in your Porsche 911 and you see one of these in your rearview mirror, think hard before dicing with it. They're so quick. Not perfect though. The Honda Civic Type R is not a perfect car, so let's address some of its shortcomings. For one thing, it's not a big deal, but the interior, it feels fairly low rent. It's completely shown up by the Golf's cabin, although the seats in this Honda are way better. They're so supportive, but also really comfortable over a longer journey. But the major frustration in this car is the driving modes. The Plus R mode, I mean, that's just a joke on a bumpy road or even a moderately smooth road. It's just far too stiff, racetracks only. Even Sport mode, I'm in Sport now, you can see how much movement there is in the car over a not especially uneven stretch of road. In Comfort mode, the dampers are lovely and plush, and the ride is brilliant. The way it glides over bumps is so impressive. But then in Comfort mode, you've got quite lazy engine response, so you can't have the fizziest engine with the lovely plush dampers. There's no individual mode. That's really disappointing, actually. Everything else, though, about this car, I mean, wow.
Can the Clubsport really be any better than the Type R? It will have to be the very best of Volkswagen to even come close.
Boring stuff first, let's get that out of the way. This Clubsport, I mean, it's still a Golf, isn't it? So easy to live with, really good cabin, spacious, it's refined, it's civilized, it's comfortable. It's not at all demanding. If anything, it's even easier to use in normal, boring day-to-day driving than that Type R. But how does it compare as a hot hatch? That's what really matters. Right now, I am in the Nurburgring mode because this car has got a Nurburgring mode. And if a car's got a Nurburgring mode, you're going to use it, aren't you? Even if you're not at the Nurburgring. Actually, it makes sense because the Nurburgring, as we know, is a very bumpy, undulating track. So you don't want a rock-solid chassis. You want a bit of pliancy. And that's what you want on the road as well, a bit of pliancy. VW says that for most tracks, you'll want to be in Sport mode, but for the Nurburgring, or by extension, a slightly bumpy public highway, you'll want to be in the Nurburgring mode. And it works really well on a typical British B road. Actually, there's another stretch, a couple of miles that way, that's horrendously bumpy. And on that road, I used the individual drive mode so I could have a sharp, responsive engine and gearbox, but then the slackest dampers possible. And that worked beautifully. This car has got the optional adaptive dampers. I happen to think that since you're paying £37,000 plus for this Clubsport, you should get the adaptive dampers for free, but you don't. That's a shame because you're going to want them. They work really well. And there are something like 15 different settings for how stiff you've got them. That's probably 10 more settings than you strictly need, but it's nice to have options. But we're in the Nurburgring mode for now. So what's this Clubsport really like? I want to talk about the powertrain first. The engine, 300 horsepower, a little bit less than that Civic. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's got any less power, but it's much less characterful. It sounds quite bland, It's quite energetic, but it's nothing like as lively as that Type R engine. It doesn't rev as high at the top end either. What about this Dsg Gearbox? People like you and I will think it's such a shame to have a Clubsport and not be able to have a manual gearbox. It is a pity. VW presumably looks at the numbers and goes, well, that's pointless offering a manual because no one actually has one. But in this kind of car, I do want to be changing gear myself. This Dsg box is very, very good. These paddles, they're tiny though. It'd be nice to have a more substantial paddle. It's just not a manual gearbox, is it? Okay, let's talk about the chassis. It's really cold out here today. The roads are dry, but it's 1 degree out there, and there's no tyre temperature, so it's slippery. Even so, this Golf has got good grip, good traction as well. It's also got a mechanical locking differential, and it works, it's effective. It does pull you away from the apex nice and crisply, but it doesn't feel like it's as tightly wound as the Honda's differential. You don't feel it tugging through the steering quite so much. That doesn't mean it's not doing anything, it is. You just don't feel it to the same degree that you do in the Type R. So in this Nurburgring mode, we've got good body control, but pliancy over bumps as well. It's not beating me up. The body isn't skipping around all over the place. Initially, this can feel like quite an inert chassis, but it's not. In fact, when you start driving with a bit more commitment and really stick it into a few bends, and particularly if you've got the weight of the car on the nose because you're braking into the apex, you realize how lively and how agile it is, how much it wants to rotate into a bend. You can really get the thing stepping out into a corner. You're not going to be giving it the full Jean Ragnotti through every bend, but that does mean that the car's got balance, that it's on an edge, and that means you're not just managing understeer the whole time. So the chassis feels really sophisticated, really clever, lively as well. It's fun. My issue is with the steering, particularly compared to that Honda's steering. This rack, it just feels lifeless. Really doesn't give you a great sense of connection to the front axle at all. And it's the steering that makes you think the chassis is quite numb and lifeless and unresponsive. The steering lets the car down. It's not bad by any means, but it's not brilliant either. It's a pity really, because that's what keeps you at arm's length. Whereas in the Honda, you feel right on top of the car, confident straight away. In this thing, you're just kind of left guessing a little bit. It is really good to drive this thing, but the moment you put the word Clubsport on a car, I mean, you're promising a lot, aren't you? I think if you're going to use that badge, it's got to feel like a really focused, really rewarding and engaging driver's car. You want some edge, some character in there, don't you? A bit like that Type R. Yeah, I find myself just expecting a little bit more of this Clubsport. It's very, very good, but it's not as good as that Type R. Having said all that, you'd love to live with one, wouldn't you? It looks good, it looks grown up, it looks expensive, it's got a great cabin, a good strong engine, it's fun to drive. I mean, it's a compelling package. The trouble is, in a head-to-head test like this one, we're looking for a hot hatch that's as good as that Honda Civic Type R. And this ain't it.
This Honda has now seen off competition from Ford, Renault Sport and Volkswagen, all of them hot hatch royalty. The Clubsport is the best Golf GTI there is, but like the Focus ST and Megane Trophy, it's no match for the Civic Type R. Thank you for watching this PistonHeads video. Please subscribe to our channel and head over to PistonHeads.com.